I've always liked living alone. Silence doesn't bother me, it calms me. I'd even started leaving the TV off at night, just to hear the wind push through the trees outside. But something about 3:43 a.m. started to feel wrong. It wasn't the time I woke up, it was why. Every night that weekend I shot awake at exactly 3:43. Not groggy, not disoriented, just awake, like my body knew something my mind hadn't caught up to yet. The first time, I thought it was nothing. Maybe a dream I forgot as soon as I opened my eyes. But the second night, I heard it. A faint click, metal shifting, like someone turning a key. I froze. The sound was coming from the front door, but I'd already locked it. I was sure of it. And that's when I realized I never actually heard it lock in the first place. I live just outside Asheville, in a small rental house tucked behind a row of pine trees. Quiet neighborhood. One road in, one road out. Most of my neighbors are older, and by 9 p.m., the whole street goes dark. That Friday, my roommate left to visit family in Colorado. I didn't think twice about staying behind. I'd lived there nearly 2 years. Nothing bad had ever happened, until that night. I remember locking the door around 11. It's an old brass deadbolt. You have to pull it hard to get it to catch. I turned the key, gave it the usual tug to double check, and even did a quick lap around the house before going to bed. Kitchen window, locked. Side door, deadbolt on. Bedroom window, shut tight. At 3:43 a.m., I sat up like someone yanked a string tied to my chest. Silence. But I wasn't dreaming. I knew I'd heard it. The distinct click of the front door. Not knocking, not footsteps. Just the mechanical, steady turn of a key. I got out of bed and stood there in the dark, not moving. I didn't want to turn on a light. I didn't even want to breathe too loud. Nothing happened. No creak of hinges. No footsteps. Just that sound, still echoing in my ears. After what felt like hours, but was probably 3 minutes, I crept down the hall, holding my phone like a weapon. The door was closed. The deadbolt looked the same. I didn't touch it. I just stared, half expecting it to turn in front of me. Eventually, I convinced myself I'd imagined it. Maybe the house was settling. Maybe I'd locked it wrong and the latch snapped into place late. Weird timing, sure, but possible. I went back to bed and didn't sleep. The next day, I called my landlord and asked if anyone had a copy of the key. He said no, just me and my roommate. He even laughed and said, "It's a deadbolt, not the kind you pick easily." I didn't mention why I was asking. That night, I locked up just like before. Triple-checked everything. Wrote a note in my phone with the time I locked the door, 10:52 p.m. And again at exactly 3:43 a.m. I woke up, heart racing, hands sweating, and heard it. This time it was louder. A click, then a soft metallic slide, like the door was easing open. I couldn't tell if it was inside the house or just outside it. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and crept to the hallway. The front door was cracked open by about 2 inches. No wind, no sound, just that thin slice of darkness leading outside. I slammed it shut, locked it, and pushed a chair in front of it. I didn't sleep after that, didn't even sit down. I kept every light on until the sun came up, then drove straight to a hardware store and bought a chain lock and a cheap security cam. I installed both by noon. The next night was quiet. I fell asleep early, exhausted but not afraid. The chain was locked, the cam was on. I even left a light on in the hallway. Still, I woke up again. 3:43. Only this time, the chain was off, and the camera feed? Gone, just a blank black screen like it had been turned off or wiped, and something was missing. A pair of boots I kept near the door. They weren't expensive, but they were heavy, not the kind of thing that just disappears. At first, I thought maybe I'd moved them, but they were just gone. No boot prints, no door marks, no footage. I called the police that morning. They did a sweep, said the lock showed no sign of forced entry. I showed them the footage, or lack of it, and one of the officers suggested I'd forgotten to turn it on. I hadn't. I even had a screen recording from earlier that night showing it active. They made a report but didn't seem concerned. Could be a tech glitch. Maybe someone has an old key. We'll keep an eye on the neighborhood. I could tell they didn't believe me. Or maybe they just didn't know what to make of it. That night, I didn't go to bed. I waited. I sat on the couch with the lights off, chain locked, phone recording, kitchen knife within reach. And again, 3:43, the doorknob turned. I heard it. The soft shuffle of shoes on the porch. Then nothing. I flicked on the lights and yanked open the door. No one, just those boots, sitting neatly side by side on the mat facing the door. They were wet, muddy, like someone had been walking in them all night. But it hadn't rained, and they weren't my boots anymore. Mine had worn laces and a scuffed toe. These were cleaner, newer, identical, but not the same. I slammed the door and cried. Not out of fear, at least not just fear, but because I realized something. This wasn't just someone messing with me. They knew I was watching. I left the house the next morning and stayed with a friend across town. Didn't go back for a week. When I finally did, everything was where I left it. Boots gone, locks untouched, nothing out of place. I moved out that same month. The landlord said no one had reported anything strange before or since. But when I asked about the previous tenants, he paused. Said the last woman who lived there left in the middle of the night. Didn't give a reason. Just packed up and stopped returning his calls. That was 3 years ago. No police report, no damage, just gone. A few weeks later, I saw a Reddit thread from a guy in North Carolina talking about a house where the front door would unlock itself at the same time every night. His story was nearly identical, right down to the missing boots. Only difference? His door opened at 3:44 a.m. The top comment was from someone in Tennessee. Check behind your walls. That's where I found the crawl space. I didn't reply. Didn't save it. I wasn't ready to know more. Even now, I set an alarm for 3:42 a.m. every night, just to make sure I wake up first. Because whatever this was, it didn't break in. It was already inside. It's been 6 months since I left that house. I sleep better now, but not deeply. Not through the night. I still wake up around 3:40 sometimes. Not always, but often enough that I don't think it's random. I keep my phone close, lights on low, just in case. The boots never came back. The landlord rented the house out again, and as far as I know, the new tenants haven't said anything. But I haven't asked. I don't want to know if it's still happening, or if it ever really stopped. Some nights I think maybe I imagined it all. That stress and isolation got the best of me. That there was no key turning, no chain unlatching, no wet boots left behind. But then I remember how the doorknob moved, how the camera feed went black, how the chain was still dangling loose when I turned on the light. Those are the things I can't explain. And the post, the one from the guy in Tennessee, the thread's gone, deleted. No archive. No cached version. It's like it never existed, except I remember every word. I still check my front door every night before bed. Lock, tug, chain. Alarm set for 3:42. Not because I think it'll happen again, but because something in me believes it never really stopped. And maybe it doesn't matter where you live or who else is home. Maybe it's not about the house at all. Maybe whatever it is, whatever waits for 3:43 a.m., just wants you awake when it arrives. So if you're still up listening to this at night, double check your locks. And if you hear something at your door, don't open it. Thanks for watching. Stay alert, stay safe. And if this reminded you of something that's happened to you, you're not alone. I promise.